So good morning. My name is Cordy Yakin with the Effingham Regional Growth Alliance. Thank you for joining us this morning. Want to come with you to potential grant opportunity working for workforce development and working with local employers. I've got Cindy Mayer with me from C.E.F.S. She's working on this grant application through the Job Training and Economic Development Grant Program, or JTED, as you might see on your screen there. And working with the local and regional community colleges on this. It's quite a little bit of a quick turnaround for it. The application is due by the end of next week, and she's definitely been putting in the hours for this to try to get this organized and want to get the information out to our local employers of what is this opportunity and how you might be able to take advantage of it. And they are seeking individuals, or they're seeking employers, better put, that might want to participate in this. So very excited here. Trying to look towards this from a workforce development standpoint, and Cindy's going to run through this, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but this would be training opportunities for individuals that are unemployed or underemployed. That could be an individual that's working part-time, or that wants to move to full-time, or somebody that's not working to the extent of what their education or skill set levels are, may want to increase their skill sets for better opportunities, and that could be a higher wage or a promotion. So I think there's a lot of latitude here, the availability to try to work through this. There are income restriction levels, and Cindy will jump into that as well of who may qualify. But very excited for this opportunity and want to bring it to our local employers, and hopefully it's a good fit to be able to participate. And with that, I believe Cindy's got a PowerPoint to run through and going to explain this grant opportunity to us. And on the backside, we'll try to answer any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Courtney. I am Cindy Meyer, the Workforce Development Director for the local workforce area 23. And so this is a great opportunity that we are hoping to get the application together and apply for. Um, Under this JTED grant, we are required to have certain industry focuses. And so we have chosen for our application life science, which would include healthcare, transportation, distribution, and logistics, such as CDL and auto techs, and then advanced manufacturing, which is why we brought all of you um, here today. So just a brief overview, the program requirements. The programs have to ensure that there is training, like classroom training, that ends in an industry recognized credential. And it also requires that participants do on-the-job experience. So we have currently we have work experience, and with that, the participant is employed by C.E.F.S, the WIOA program, and they're placed in your um, establishment, and we pay them directly for their time working. And then we also have on-the-job training, where that would be an employer who hires them directly, and then we can reimburse the employer for their wages up to a certain percent, and that's going to be based on the size of the workforce in that uh, area. So, and then there's also ways to explore apprenticeships, where we have a combination of that on the job and classroom as they are employed throughout that whole time. So both for training and for the work experience. The end goal, obviously, is employment for the participant or a career advancement for the participant. We want to make sure that they are able to obtain a living wage and become have economic stability. So this grant will run May 1st of 2026 and will end April 30th, 2028. So while, yes, it is a 2-year grant, it does limit the trainings that can be offered because associates run 2 years, but they don't run the same 2-year time period. You know, they start by semesters, and so this would not finish this time frame would not finish an associate's degree. So eligibility requirements under this grant application is that the person and the participants have to be low to moderate income. So just as a single family household or one person in the household, the max that they would be able to make would be 45,000 to be eligible for this grant. This is a lot higher than what our typical eligibility rate is for our regular WIOA dollars. Since this goes up to moderate, that allows more people to be eligible. Oh, sorry. Um, and then they have to be unemployed or underemployed. Underemployed, I wanted to point out that that is they have to be low to moderate income, and they must also be one of the following, which they're working just part-time. They have employment. Their employment is lower than their demonstrated level of education and or skill, or they are employed but would like to increase their skills for higher wage or promotion. So you might even have someone in your own facilities that might qualify as underemployed if they're wanting to advance. The services that will be provided under the grant are tuition assistance, career planning, so they will meet with our career planners. We will offer supportive services, and that could include if they need particular uniforms or tools, transportation with mileage reimbursement to and from class and to and from their work site, childcare assistance if needed. And then we will also pay for wages, as I kind of discussed earlier, whether that be work experience and we pay them directly, or whether that be through our on-the-job training, where we reimburse the employer for the wages. But we will be providing wage assistance. So now, does anyone have any questions on the background of the grant and what we're looking at?
I do have a question. So, C.E.F.S. or is it C.F.E.S.? What is that?
C.E.F.S. Okay, so C.E.F.S. is a community action agency that I am employed by, and that houses the local workforce area. So C.E.F.S. provides a whole array of services, including like Head Start and assistance for people who are homeless, or the LIHEAP program, the utility assistance. Um, so we have a lot of different programs that we offer. But this grant is particular to WIOA, which is the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. And that is the program that is overseen by the local workforce area. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. What's it stand for?
C.E.F.S.
Uh-huh.
It actually stands for the first four counties that we started serving: Clay, Effingham, Fayette, and Shelby. And now, after a year of starting, then we added Christian, Montgomery, and Moultrie counties.
I'm in Alabama for reference. I work. My
Oh,
dad's
you're
from Illinois, so
okay.
I'm
Okay.
over the plants in Illinois, but I just wasn't familiar with it.
Yeah. So yeah, so really the meaning of C.E.F.S is, I hate to say it, it's kind of, it's just the counties that we serve.
Awesome. Okay, that helps.
Yeah. Yeah. But not to confuse you, our local workforce area covers 13 counties, and only part of the same counties as C.E.F.S, but we're not going to get into that. That's just too confusing. Any other questions? Okay. So now we'll move on. So what I'm looking at for input from you all is, what are the training needs that would best support your industries? So what I've done here is, because for this grant, the trainings have to be by a already approved training provider and already approved training programs. I went through, and because this area is um, mainly Lakeland College, district, I went through their programs that um, can be used for this advanced manufacturing and have selected those trainings. And I'm looking for feedback if you think that these would be sufficient. So the first training that I looked at was the welding tech training. Um, and then do you guys need me to read the description of that program or can you see it okay?
We can see it. If you want to do a high
Okay.
level overview, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically it's just preparing students for welding industry. It looks like they'll cover areas of safety, metal identification, acetylene. Sorry, I'm not familiar with welding terminology. Metal cutting processes, shielded metal arc welding, gas metal arc welding, gas tungsten arc welding, and blueprint reading. So it's kind of more of a high level welding. Um, Another one that I thought was industrial maintenance. And so this prepares individuals to apply technical knowledge and skills to keep a building functioning. And so they will look at basic maintenance and repair skills required to service building air conditioning, heating, plumbing, electrical, major appliances, and other mechanical systems. So those were kind of the two that I had in mind that might be most beneficial. But then here is the list of other ones with very basic description. So the basic welding is just an entry level employment. Um, and then computer aided drafting, they will know how to operate, set up, customize, and troubleshoot a CAD system. And then manufacturing skills one prepares for entry level manufacturing industries. Um, So those are the certificate programs offered at Lakeland. Of those five, what ones would you feel are most beneficial? If I were to choose two of them, let's say.
For NAL, it would clearly be industrial maintenance and manufacturing skills. Those are the two that I would be.
I'm sorry, industrial maintenance and what?
And the manufacturing skills.
And I would say
Okay.
the same thing for ConAgra.
And manufacturing skills.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Cindy, just to note here, this is not an all-inclusive list of available trainings. I mean, granted the limited time and the availability for the approved providers and programs, but this is something that you had identified quickly that might
Yes.
be of interest to local manufacturer employers.
Yes. So these
Okay.
are the ones that would end in the certificate,
Yep.
instead of an associate. So yes, they do have more.
Did-
So.
I know, you don't have them listed, but I know we hire, and it's kind of just recent that we've started hiring some controls tech positions.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I'm going to turn my computer.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
go ahead.
little difficult to hear you, Brenda.
Okay. So just in the past 6 months or so, we've started hiring some controls technicians, which they do the programming or bring equipment. Is that anything? I mean, is there a program that would go along with that?
What kind of
I think
training was it?
they call it controls technician.
Control
Which
tech?
they do some of the programming for like our systems that run our equipment. You know,
Mm-hmm.
to be,
And that's through Lakeland?
I don't, I don't know. That's what I'm asking. If they would kind
Okay,
of,
so they do have Lakeland has an electronic control technician.
I would probably suspect that might be something that would be related. You said it's
Okay.
electronic control stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Because we have been advertising for some of these, and we've not hardly received any response of anybody that's told for those positions.
Okay. And then there's also a mechanical electrical technology. If you, I tell you what I can do, if it would be helpful, I will look up those two and get their descriptions, like
Okay.
what I've done here, and I'll email them out. And then if you could give me feedback, if that's something
Okay.
that would be more beneficial for everyone.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, so I will look into, let me put a little note by these.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I will do that. I'll email that out then. So, but as for what's been listed here, you would both recommend the industrial maintenance and the manufacturing skills over welding and industrial maintenance, correct?
Yes, we're
Okay.
food manufacturing, so
Yes,
add,
yes,
And
yes.
Cindy, is it confined to, as you write this application, is it confined to the programs that you list, or what are the
It will
constraints
it
there?
will be. Yes, I will have to list specifically what programs we will
Are,
be used for the
are you
training. So
able to do a broader list like this, or do you have to narrow down to specific ones? Like, are you able to include the welding, basic welding or welding tech and industrial maintenance, or the aided drafting, in addition to industrial maintenance and manufacturing skills?
So I will have to be specific on which ones. So if I'm looking at trying to do two in each of those industry in categories, which was life science and like transportation and
Yep.
logistics.
Yep.
So that's why I'm trying to narrow it down to like the two most impactful that would be helpful for the manufacturers in the area.
Perfect.
So yeah, yeah. And so, hopefully others that will receive this recording will be able to provide their feedback as well.
Yep.
So, okay. So I will and I will send out the description for the electronic control tech. Um, all right. So those were a look at the trainings. And then um, the next thing is what is our ask of manufacturers? So we do have to identify employer partners for this grant application. And so basically what we're needing is what employers would be willing to accept a placement one of the participants. And so to do that, what you would need to be able to do is just provide that supervision and mentorship for the person placed. Um, Work with the career planner. They will work with you. We will have a contract set up, defining like how long that placement will last. Um, and then kind of what those responsibilities are, specifically what you, the employer, would want the participant to be doing while they're at the work placement. Um, and then you would have to sign a memorandum of understanding, just kind of an agreement that says you will be an employer partner of the program, meaning you will be willing to accept participant placements.
Can you run through how this may be organized? Like, so the individual that may be running through this
Mhm.
training that's offered through this grant opportunity here, um, that placement comes at the end of their training, and that placement is conditional that they meet the standards of the employer. Can you kind of run through that, please?
Sure, sure. So, as I'm writing the grant, I don't want to be too restrictive because we need to make sure that they have time for both the training portion and the work placement portion.
Hmm.
So I'm writing it in a way that it can occur either simultaneously or after the training. So that is something that uh, we will be able to work with the employer. If they want to wait until after that training is completed, then we certainly can do that. If they're willing to take a placement while they're going through the training, we can look at doing that as well. So it's not cookie cutter. This is how we're going to move through and progress through the program. It's going to be based on the participant's ability and need and the employer's need and ability to take a placement at that time.
Perfect.
Does that
Perfect.
answer
And
the question? Mhm.
yes, and then at the point of taking that placement, so say for example, an employer says, "All right, we're interested in participating. We are interested in placement opportunities." Once they have completed their training, um, they're still able to gauge this individual. I'm thinking towards welding, right? And maybe that's
Mhm.
not one that's going to be part of this grant, so maybe we can pick on that one a little bit. But
Yeah.
somebody goes through welding training, and then typically you would find an employer would have a test as well. That they
Mhm.
would have to meet their standards to qualify for employment. It's not that somebody might be underqualified based off of the standards that the employer is wanting or needing for their employment opportunities, and that they have to take the placement anyway. Can you kind of run through that?
Right. So
Mhm.
let's say we're going to use work experience.
Perfect.
So this is where we are paying the participant, and it's 29 hours a week. The program's so the one directly paying the wages. Um, we we wouldn't necessarily say, hey, you uh, that they would you could require them to meet their standards for the welding, their additional testing, right? Like they're going through the classroom training, they're obtaining those skills. Now, let's say this work experience is working out well. This placement is really working out well, and you're interested in maybe potentially hiring them. We could look at going into an on the job training contract, and you could then say, okay, but they're going to have to go through our training process and pass our test. So at that point in time, yes, you would be able to require that. And then with OJT on the job training, you would be the employer. Um, does that does that make sense? So if you are the employer, you can require those additional testings.
Okay.
Or, or let's say it's working out and it's work experience, and you want to go ahead and have them start doing that, and they pass it while they're in the work experience, and then you want to hire them, you can certainly do that as well. So it's kind of a flexible, fluent, you know, whatever we need to do to make this participant successful and hopefully obtain employment in the very end. So whether that be, and let's say you have an employer who meets the criteria for underemployed and low to moderate income, and they go through this program, well, obviously they're going to stay with you, right? And so you're already the employer, and you can require those additional testings and stuff. Is that
So, so the candidate could be somebody from here, or it could be somebody
that we that we would
that you
place? Yeah.
recommend. Or,
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously we're not going to say you have to take them. Um, we would definitely set up a time to meet with the participant and, if we're placing them, but we'll try to match them with a um, employer that would.
so is that the goal then for if we sign up to go through this, that we will consider hiring the person as well? That's the goal then?
That's always the goal,
Yeah.
but we know in reality it might not work that way. So even after they go through the placement, and I'll be honest with you, I hate that it happens, but sometimes it's just not a good placement and the placement ends early.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure.
an employer has that right to say, this isn't working at any point in time. So yes, while we would love 100% of our placements to be successful and then
Right.
you guys go ahead and hire them, we know that's not reality. So
Yeah.
we are continuing to do case management with the participants to help them with finding careers if this doesn't move forward into employment with your facilities.
Perfect. So to sum up, participants would run through this program. That might be an individual that is currently employed or not. It could be an incumbent worker as well for an
Mhm.
existing employer that is looking for some upskilling too. And just because of an employer participating in the grant It's not mandatory on the placement if that is an individual that they may not have otherwise hired, still have to meet their standards.
Hmm.
Perfect.
Yes.
Sounds like a great opportunity.
Well, that's why I kind of pushing to get it done because I think we've got a great chance to the industries that are needed in this area that are needing employment, we've got a great chance to build up that pipeline of skill workers and then hopefully find them the employment that they need to make both the employer and the participant successful. So, any
Is
other?
it,
Oh, go ahead.
well, I just had a question. I mean, is this, is there like a number on how many are going to be placed then?
I haven't. Um, No, I haven't set that that you have to take set a number. I'm not going to do that. Because obviously it depends too on how many participants we have interested, let's say, in advanced manufacturing, right? Because we're also doing CNA and
Sure.
nursing,
Yeah.
through that too. So
So there,
we don't know for sure how many participants we'll have.
so there could potentially be one participant that will go to the band manufacturer, or there could be more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very hopeful more than just one individual.
right.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Does this sound like something that you all might be interested in participating in?
Cindy, I guess I have one more question.
Sure.
So as far as the participant placement goes, is the intent to have them placed in basically like day one of new hire orientation and then basically come in as a full-time employee, or is the intent to have them come in at different intervals and provide, have like part-time assistance? What's the general setup for participant placement?
Okay, so you were asking if they would be full-time or part-time? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, so I mean,
Okay.
is the intent to have them placed in basically they come in and learn the manufacturing process and go in with the rest of the new hires and work full time, through OJT. We had a lengthy OJT at it's a couple of weeks long after the initial week long
Hmm.
orientation. The intent was to come in and do that
Yeah,
as a solid.
if it is an OJT, I believe they do ha would have to be full-time. Work experience, we would cap it at 29 hours. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, so I mean
Okay, I'm
that
sorry,
was
I'm
the
having
other
a hard
part of the
time
question.
hearing.
The other part of that was the work experience. Is that where they would just basically come in and perform tasks? I'm not sure what that means.
I'm sorry, they would perform what?
I don't know what the work experience aspect means.
What the work? Okay. So work experience would probably be more entry level. And so sometimes what we look at is even just trying to get the um the mindset of, you know, showing up to work on time, kind of doing those kind of easier tasks, following, listening to supervision, um, and like getting timesheets in. So it's kind of more of a basic um entry level uh work experience. Does that answer? And ultimately how that would be is we will set up a contract and set up like an interview. And so you will be able to determine what you think would be what duties this person would be able to do. So some might need more basic, some maybe be able to do more advanced work. Does that answer your question? I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing, so it's kind of cuts out a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you.
Okay. So it's really going to be a joint collaboration. We're not going to say it has to be done this way, or this way, and this is all that they can do. But um, definitely there'll be times we'll set up meetings with the career planner and the participant, and you can all kind of map out what works best for you, and that's what will be in the contract.
Perfect. Cindy, is that your last slide, or did you have anything
Yeah,
else?
yep, this was it. I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's it. So,
Now,
Awesome,
I
awesome,
have one
awesome.
last question.
yeah.
Please.
Now, is it, if we do sign up for this, do we have to commit to like a certain number, or is it what? Because I have a feeling we have that kind of thing.
You mean a certain number of placements?
Participants at placements, yeah.
Hmm.
If
No, I don't think that we would require a set number. Again, because I can't guarantee that we're going to have a huge number of participants either having those other industries that we're focusing on as well. So the goal is just to be open to a placement. So if we would call and say, hey, we have someone that might be interested in meeting with them, seeing if that would be a good placement for you guys as well.
Sounds like an excellent opportunity. I mean, most certainly a win-win opportunity here, both for the employee and the employer. Potential opportunity to get additional skill sets or to get somebody reintroduced into the workforce, and opportunity for employers to have be able to take on somebody that has received proper training for the position. So,
Mhm.
and to be able to leverage a grant to do this and to support the local and regional workforce as a whole, I think this is an excellent opportunity to participate with. And with that, we will end today's session. Cindy, thank you for putting this together for us and for working on this application. And we will send out a copy of the PowerPoint and a copy of the recording
Mhm.
afterwards here, yet maybe still this afternoon. And any other questions come up, please don't hesitate to email me, and I'll make sure it gets to Cindy, and we'll provide her contact information with the follow up after today's session. Thank you, everybody, and hope
Cindy,
Yes.
everybody has a great rest of the day.
hey Cindy, quickly,
Yes.
just is there going to be like a deadline of when we have to have this to you and everything? I know you mentioned tomorrow. Is
Well,
that the dead?
so the grant is due by next Friday. So if this is something that you're interested in participating in, you'll want to reach out to me right away, early part of next week. And I will send an MOU, the memorandum of understanding. And I can meet with you guys too and go over it and explain in more detail too, instead of just emailing it if you would prefer. But yeah, it would have to be kind of the earlier part of next week.
Okay.
Cindy, you want to run through your contact info real quick and catch it in the recording here?
Oh, yes. So you can email me at cmeyer@cefseoc.org. Or you can call 217-342-2193, extension 2121.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you for running through this session for us and educating on this potential grant opportunity. I think it sounds like a great one for local and regional employers, and we look forward to gathering some additional info for you and to hopefully participate in this and do good and take a big step forward for workforce development in South Central and Southeastern Illinois.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Have a good
Thank
day,
you,
Drew,
everyone.
Cindy.
have a good
Thank
day.
you. You too.